Well, we apologize for coming to you slightly behind schedule. But the presidential elections may have come and gone, but actions and reactions continue to trail the outcome. How will things eventually pan out? Well, this and many more will be revealed in the days ahead. Good evening. Welcome to the program. I'm Chamberlain Uso. We're still in the election mode as the states are about now preparing or continuing their preparations for the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections. Well, the just concluded presidential elections notwithstanding, we'll make our rounds with some of our correspondents who are in those states, some of them, and then they will also bring us up to the minute about developments at their location. Let's take a look at some of those who will be talking to us today on the program. Jonathan Gopep will speak to us from Yobe, and then we'll have Emmanuel Ereye from Rivers State. We'll also have Tokwe Kutei from Imo, and then we'll have all of them just bringing us up to speed about what is happening as we speak where they are. Well, our social media platforms are available for you to air your views today on the program. Or you can tweet at us using the hashtag Nigeria2015. Or please use the Twitter handle you see on your screen. But if you have any comments or questions, do send us an email, and that will be nigeria2015@channelstv.com. You can also send us pictures through our Eyewitness platform, as you have been doing. Here's how you do it. Just download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And then tap to show the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions you see there. Well, joining us tonight via phone from Abuja, we've got Yakubu Gowan, who is the former head of state. And here in the studio, Dr. Isuwa Dogo, political scientist and member of the PDP. We'll also have Dr. Tunji Aboyemi, a legal practitioner and a leader in the APC. Well, after the most fascinating and toughest to predict elections we have ever had, the dust has settled, or the ruling party will have to call for the removal of Vance. Well, after the then opposition coasted to victory, what went wrong for the PDP? How did the APC swing it? Well, these and more are some of the matters we will consider tonight on the program. But let's take you through some of the high points or highlights of that election. Yes, indeed, it was the fourth election happening, in the Fourth Republic, one of the most keenly contested elections, as a matter of fact, that has also gone down in history now. And then it also turns out that it was between these two. These two were the leading candidates in that election, but eventually they went into the polls, and then the results, and as it turned out, let's take a look at that. Well, the fourth person contesting, no, let's go back to that. Okay, well, yeah. This is how the results eventually panned out. So the APC clinching it, 15,424,921 votes to that of the PDP's 12,853,162. So the APC in the green there. Let's look at the result map and how did this show up in the state. So here it is, APC clinching it with 21 states in the green, and PDP 15 states plus the FCT. So this is a spread, and that's how it turns out. So this is the map, how it's going to show up for a long time concerning the presidential elections. So after this, you remember, the president did also speak up about the election in terms of what his intentions were, how he said he had promised the country free and fair elections. He kept his word, he says. I have also expanded the space for Nigerians to participate, he goes on to say, in the democratic process. That is one of the legacy I would like to see endure. The quote doesn't end there. He also continues as he says, quote, as I have always affirmed, nobody's ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian. The unity, stability, and progress of our dear country is more important than anything else, the president several times has been quoted to have said this, and he kept on saying that as it was. So that was the comments coming through from the president about these elections. But not long after that, while the results were still being collated, many were sitting, waiting for us to bring them the news, the announcement of the results. The president-elect eventually then said, at exactly 5:15 p.m. yesterday, Tuesday, President Jonathan called to congratulate him on his victory. And that single action has generated a lot of comments from everywhere. And so he also continues saying, for this, I want all Nigerians to join me in congratulating and appreciating Mr. President for his statesmanship. Change has finally come to Nigeria. Nigeria's long night has passed. So that's the comment credited to the president-elect after all of that, when the president did eventually call him. But you know, after that action by the president, there were loads and reactions that came through for him, and still is, by the way. ECOWAS happened to be one of those who were speaking up about that singular action of the president's, and then in this, one of the letters, responses, they said, ECOWAS notes the peaceful and transparent conduct of the election and congratulates General Muhammadu Buhari, the presidential candidate of the APC, who emerged the winner from the results, while commending the leadership and statesmanship demonstrated by Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. So that comment coming through from ECOWAS wasn't the only one that came through. The EU also, remember, they had observers in the country who were monitoring how the results were eventually going to turn out. EU, about the elections, say, quote, I congratulate him because he conceded defeat in the election even before he knew the official results. That, I feel, is a very important thing. That is an extraordinary example for many countries in Africa and all over the world. I congratulate him for that. So that is the comment that came through from the EU, who were on ground to observe the elections, and that is their comment. So the summation of all that has been said about the elections, the president's action, is that a true statesman he is. So all of those global commendation, and who knows for how long more it will come. Many have said, well, yes, indeed, it's a good thing for Africa, a good thing, an example to the world. He has just set that. And so the commendation is all around coming through, but